Wonder how Poppy Playtime is doing. Let's see here. The real reason Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 failed. Oh, okay. Final thoughts. Markiplier rants? Ooh, okay. The missed potential? Alright. People aren't liking it, it looks like. It's terrible, and here's why. Oh my god. Ooh. Wow. You know what? Let's hear this rant.
This was a fucking mess.
Wow. Markiplier just said that.
Well now, this is a rather interesting turn of events.
Poppy Playtime, the first game created by the team behind the Enchanted Mob YouTube channel. Yes, you heard me correctly. The same people who made these weirdly high-quality Minecraft animations are the same people behind Poppy Playtime. When this game first released and I found this out, it was like I found out what the numbers mean.
Not yet. Not until I see the rock.
Those guys are making a horror game? Alright, let's see what's here. Interesting situation. Check. Demonic toys. Check. Pre-made merch. Check. Wait, what? Yeah, when I found this out, it left a terrible taste in my mouth. You're telling me you have a merch all set up and ready before you even release the game? Why else would there be a store button on launch? The only reason this would be the case was if they knew this universe would sell like hotcake. This is probably the biggest criticism of the game that a lot of its fans don't seem to understand, and one I absolutely subscribe to. This game feels like it was scientifically crafted in a lab to produce the most profitable horror game ever. And it worked. The hype around chapter releases, the merch, the shitty Dead by Daylight spin-off drowned in microtransactions, the merch, a movie being announced before the game was even finished, the fucking merch! This garbage was all planned! Really, all the proof we need is in how Chapter 1 was produced, but I feel the obvious effort the animation team put into, well, everything really put this into question. But with how the community is reacting on the game's story as well as the overall quality of the last two chapters, I think it's pretty clear that only the animation team actually knew what they were doing. Seriously, strip this game of all the awesome animation work, and what do you have? Sure, it has some nice puzzles with some neat utilization of kids' games gone horrific, but that's it. Now, I must admit, I have not seen anything past Chapter 2. Preferably, I'd play it myself, but I don't have money to just toss to Enchanted Mob. I could watch playthroughs, but I'll be honest, I ain't interested. Besides, this isn't really a review, if you couldn't tell. I simply can't believe this game was made with true creative interests and not profit-driven quotas. Chapter 3 had a great reception, I realize that, but 4 and 5, not so great. Even Markiplier had enough, and that's saying a lot. Not even the Iron Lung director sleeping with his wife got to him. I'm gonna say it. If this game didn't have the animation work, it would have struggled to break out of Bendy's shadow. Speaking of Bendy, Chapter 1 is almost a blatant plagiarism of Bendy's Chapter 1. Whoa, Pilot, that's a pretty crazy accusation. You can't just throw that out there. Don't worry, I have the receipts. People actually looked at this and went, ah yes, this is the next big indie horror game. Now, PP, I'm calling it PP from now on, does have a longer playtime, wink wink, and unlike Bendy, it does have an actual chase sequence. Bendy's final stretch doesn't have an actual chase, it just gives the illusion of one. They also have more puzzles, but really, this just barely passes the line to prevent it from being plagiarism. Let's be honest. Enchanted Mob saw the success of Bendy, even with its amateur execution, and knew if they played their cards right, they could build an empire. Case in point, it released with a merch store. That's not something indie creators just do. How many indie games have you seen released with a merch button on the main menu with a whole lineup waiting for you? They usually wait until the game has built up a sizable following before they even think of making merch. Next, they're making spin-offs, announcing movies, making NFTs? Are we sure this is an indie production? Now, after 5 chapters, the magical number, people are starting to realize the game itself isn't actually anything special. Sure, it has good moments, but are they enough? With how I'm comparing this to Bendy, I'm probably going to get some people saying Bendy also wasn't that good. And while that is true, that's not my point. While the first Bendy was just okay, it was at least original all the way through. PP starting off just being a Bendy clone makes me way too suspicious. What this game stands for rubs me in all the wrong ways. PP proved there was a formula that you could follow for mascot horror and solidified it as an easy money printer. Granted, that would have happened even if all the crap surrounding this game wasn't there. People follow the money. You know, I'll give credit where it's due. I mean, I have been doing that this whole time, but even more credit here. They broke out of the usual 5-chapter formula and are actually going to do another chapter, chapter 6. And I mean, it's obviously just so they can keep marketing the game more. But even then, they broke out of the formula. They're doing more chapters. That's cool. I wouldn't say the game is bad just from what I know, but this definitely doesn't seem authentic. If you like the game, then that's cool. I'm not here to convince you to hate it. I merely wanted to express my vindication from seeing this negative press.